What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning into my channel, The Stone Mandalorian. And I got my third Acolyte figure review coming at y'all. And I got May the Assassin here. And like I said in my other reviews, I have my feelings about Acolyte, good and bad. I kind of go through it. But the figures are on another level, man. I got to say, like, Hasbro really took their time with these figures. And obviously, I know Hasbro and Black Series Disney, they probably have like a bigger budget set aside for Disney specific related media. But either way, man, the sculpt and the paint on all these figures is just very extraordinary, and they put in a lot of time and work with these figures. But just looking here, once again, we got the new packaging. It looks great. It got a very premium feel to it, thicker cardboard. And I like the more like clean, streamlined look it's got. I'm gonna kind of miss the slant, but not that much. But let's go ahead and get on into this figure. And here is May the Assassin out of the box. And I gotta say, man, once again, these Acolyte figures, I know Disney or Hasbro has probably put a lot of budgeting in for new media, Disney media quality or whatever, but these Acolyte figures have really impressed me, man. Articulation is superb. The sculpting is out of this world, just so well done. And the paint, honestly, a lot of some of these figures have quite a little bit decent paint on these figures as well. I am very surprised, especially Jackie, my last review. But now, none of these reviews I've now reviewed Soul and Jackie. I did not go over their soft goods in any of the reviews just because they were kind of, I don't know. These figures just look so good to me. The soft goods rows that they come with just kind of cover up all the fine engineering and sculpt work that I just didn't think it was worth displaying with the soft goods. Now, if you do, that's cool. I think they look decent with their soft goods on, but for the most part, I really don't display any of my Jedi or people that come with soft goods with their robes or whatever. But anyways, getting on to May here, she looks pretty fantastic, man. The one thing I can say is I don't know. Maybe like the her throwing knives, very small. Be careful, you can lose these, and I'll give y'all let y'all see what it looks like. But I don't know. Osha and May were interesting characters, and then that beginning of the show, they kind of alluded to them being twins, and I was like, I don't know. I was kind of not feeling the whole twin thing. I feel like it's very like overdone and overplayed and things now, but then I was like, you know what? This is only the first episode. Let me at least get through the season and just see how I feel at the end of the conclusion. And as the show went on, the story kind of grew on me. The plot was making more sense. Like I said, the Acolyte, there's a lot of things that you could talk about that don't work and don't line up with the lore and consistency. But there's also a lot of badass shit that fucking happens in Acolyte, man. And sometimes as Star Wars fans, I feel like some of us can get really hung up on what we don't like so much, which makes no sense to me. Why would you focus on something you don't like rather than what you do like? So that's what I've chosen to do with pretty much anything in life, but especially this Acolyte show is instead of focusing on what could have been better and what was bad about it, I just try to focus on what was good and what I actually enjoyed about it. Um, that being said, new characters, new plot, nothing that ties into the Skywalker saga. I was actually really looking forward to just a new, fresh, clean story with new, fresh, clean characters that we don't know anything about. So that when we get a backstory or whatever, like it's all new to us. It's not like we can piece together, and I mean we can guess and theorize, but it's not like everything that if it happened within the Skywalker saga during the OT trilogy, like it's got to fit in with what's going on in the galaxy at that time. This now during the High Republic, 1,000 years before the Phantom Menace, before the prequels, I really enjoyed it, man. But get onto this figure, she looks pretty good. I'm actually a fan of this hard plastic skirt. Sometimes it can inhibit articulation, but for this one, she does have a split on this side. And the way that it just, you see the pose I have her in, a pretty dynamic lunging pose. It doesn't inhibit it too much. Now, the hair, I feel like it would have been cool if they made more splits in it, just to make it to where, like, if you wanted to turn her head, you could have some of her braids or her dreads coming on over to her shoulder rather than them all just laying on her back. But I do understand that in the show, they're mostly are like focal at the back of her head, behind her back. But I'll tell you what, let's get this thing off the turntable and let me quit blabbering on, and we'll take a closer look at the paint, the articulation, and the sculpting. And just starting off with Osha here. I mean, she looks pretty badass. Also, I didn't realize until like halfway through, or maybe like the third episode, that this is actually the actress who played Rue in Hunger Games. That threw me off. 6 years is a long time if you think about it. But oh, I seem to have. Oh, dude, nope. Yep. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. This is what I was telling you about, man. These little fucking throwing knives, dude. They are so. I also have big sausage gorilla hands, so it doesn't help. And my fingers are just dirty because I was working on my wife's car this weekend, so don't mind that. But these things are so fucking small, dude. Look at this shit. Look at this. Like it's literally smaller than my thumbnail. Like it's so. Here, let me. Like, look at my pinky nail. It's so small, dude. So when y'all are unpacking this figure, be careful. The good thing is that like her hands, they're actually sculpted smaller, so she can actually hold the knives. So that's the one cool thing. Is it's not like Glavis Ringworld Mando where he's got his vibro knife, but his hands are so far open that he can't even hold the knife. They were thinking about this with this figure. Something cool as well is she does come with 4 of these throwing knives. Weapon storage is right under here. She's got this little pouch on the front of her leg, and I think it looks really good. I really like that. It's runs right up under this I keep wanting to say soft goods, damn it. This soft plastic. As you can see on her, no thigh swivel, but typical dumbbell joint, so you can get some rotation, not a lot, but she looks pretty good, man. I like this like chain link sculpt they have right here. Looks really good. Here, let me get a focus. There we go. Looks really good. I like that. A lot of texture. Go over her feet. There's like just a plain black pant under here. Nothing crazy to rant or rave about or to talk about. But I do like where the weapon storage is. That is actually really freaking badass. I like that a lot. But it almost looks like this material is like the cortosis that's on Quimir's helmet. So I wonder if that's what that is to protect her. I'd be interested. I like the yellow that they have on here. There's yellowish orange, the barring. It even looks like there's a tiny bit of a wash on there, like a little bit of weathering. It looks like there's a tiny little bit of brown on there. I don't know if y'all can catch that on. It shows it more in person than it does on camera, but there actually is a slight little bit of like brown weathering on here. Looks really nice. And just looking at this face sculpt here, the actress who plays her is not an ugly woman by any means. She's pretty attractive. But that looks really good. That looks just like her. Like the color that they have on her. I believe Osha's got more of a purple in her hair. But once again, this kind of like chain link vibe kind of wraps around her arms here. Looks pretty cool. Same on this side. Give you a closer look at the back of her hair, her dreads or braids here. Yeah, pretty awesome figure, man. Nice sculpting, nice paint. So now let's get into articulation. So let's get her into a full T, which is no issue whatsoever, poses no problems. Got some pretty deep cut elbows here, so she can get below 90, no problem. Arms do spin 360 degrees around. Butterfly joints. I actually forgot to mention that in Jackie and Soul, but that's pretty typical of most Black Series figures nowadays. They pretty much all have butterfly joints. But then getting down to the legs here, even with this skirt, it does inhibit on this side, but if it wasn't there, you could definitely get her in a full split. Kind of get her in like a almost like, or I don't know. But yeah, so pretty good split here. Getting down to these knees, single joint, you can get less than 90 right here. There's also swivel at the knee. Also forgot to mention there's swivel at the elbow as well. Feet can go down that far. They can come up a little bit, not too much, not too bad. There is some ab rotation here. A little bit of crunch, not a whole lot. There is some, not a whole lot, like I said. She can go far back though. Head tilt, not a whole lot. She actually does have some pretty decent head tilt. She can look down a little bit. She can look up tiny little bit, not a whole lot. But yeah, as far as articulation goes, that's pretty much it. She also does come with this little neck piece that comes under her neck. She also, you could pop this head off, and she comes with a mask piece. I have it put up right now, and I don't really care about that accessory very much, so I'm not gonna worry about digging it out. But you can pop her head off and take this piece off, and you can put another piece on. And she actually has this piece where it folds over her face. But then when you go to move her face, like the mask doesn't stay on her face, like covering her nose and her mouth. So I just didn't think it was worth. It looks badass, and if you get it finagle with it a little bit and get it straight and just put it up on the shelf and pose it, you'll be fine. But I just didn't want to mess with it too much, to be honest with you. And dude, be careful. I just almost lost this throwing knife again. Y'all be careful. Matter of fact, what I might do, instead of her having dual wielding, I'm probably just going to put this other one back in her. I'll just show y'all how it goes in there. Just slides right on in. Just like that. Nothing to it. But yeah, she's a pretty nice little figure, man. I'm hoping to see if they do a season 2. Maybe we can get a little more. I don't want to say backstory because we got a backstory, but I would like to see her do more badass shit. Not that she didn't, because she literally was she was kicking some ass, man. But I definitely still feel like she has a lot to learn, for sure. But then at the season, if you didn't see that at the end of the season, Osha kind of, I think her power kind of spiked due to her emotions, and that's kind of what drives the dark side. So it's kind of weird. I don't know if May is falling back to the light, and then Osha's falling back to the dark, falling into the dark. I don't know. It's I don't know, pretty decent show. I've enjoyed it so far. That's all I can really say. Same thing that happened during my Jackie review. Same thing with May here. I straight up looked over, but she actually has. Well, hold on. Let me hold this piece here. May here actually has boot swivel as well. So once again, like Jackie, she does not have the mid thigh cut like Soul does. So I guess that's just a little bit to make up for there being no mid thigh cut or thigh swivel. But like I said for my Jackie review, it seems a bit redundant to have knee swivel and boot swivel, but I'm not going to complain about it. I think it's pretty cool. So just another extra feature that I almost looked over. I wanted to let y'all check that out real quick. Well, y'all, that is May from the Acolyte. And really badass figure. I'd recommend picking her up, man. You know, I think she's really fun to mess around with. She looks pretty dope on the shelf. Definitely not as cool, in my opinion, as Soul and Jackie. I mean, but they're Jedi, so what, you can't really compare that to a Jedi. But that being said, this is a really dope costume, dope design. Her character is, I can't really say her character is interesting per se, but she's I don't know what's another word besides interesting. She's an intriguing character. I'll say that she's somewhat intriguing, and I would like to see her do a little more in the second season. So who knows, But that's the end of this review. I really do appreciate y'all checking it out. Check out the Acolyte if you haven't watched it yet. If you're on the fence about it, just give it a try. Just try to get at least to the 5th episode if you can, because things really start getting kind of wild in that one. But thank you for checking out this video today, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Leave me a like and subscribe. It is much appreciated. I do a lot of Black Series focused content, but every once in a while I'll throw up a Marvel Legends or any other cool badass action figure that I want to share my thoughts on and share with all of you. So leave me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. May the force be with you.